What is good, guys? It's Ronald Kabang, also known as Youcapper from Sportsmemo.com, at Youcapper Sports on Twitter. Got my guy Austin Wang with me at awang_htx on Twitter. Let's cap today. Man, there's a whole bunch of games on the slate, Austin, but we'll see what games we want to break down here. There's a lot going on in the NBA, not only from today's slate, but also just all the changes that have happened in the last 24 to 48 hours. It's just crazy movement in the NBA. The West has just become sort of that beast again over
Absolutely
here on the
ridiculous, man.
side.
I
This
was
is
I was trying to
crazy.
go to sleep the other night at 12:20 a.m. and
Yeah.
got the news that Kevin Durant got traded, and yeah, there goes the sleep for the night. I ended up spending the next hour and a half reading news, and then
Yeah.
I scouring some books trying to find some Phoenix futures, and yeah, I was able to snag some stale lines there. So very happy about that. But no, that was crazy. Just a
Well,
crazy
what's
trade deadline.
what's one of your favorite, like, I want to say, like, underrated trades from yesterday?
Let's see, underrated. I'm not sure. I was happy that the Rockets finally, traded Eric Gordon. He gave 7 great seasons and to us, and didn't really complain much. So I'm happy he got to go to a contender there in the Clippers. So happy that happened. But yeah, as far as just underrated trades, nothing just sticks out to me. And I know. One of the angles that I liked for one of the games that we're going to break down with the Hornets is them trading away a Plumlee, and
Yeah.
which opens up some more minutes for Mark Williams there, which I'll chat more about there. But I don't know what I mean. Josh Hart to the Knicks, I think that'll help their defense quite a bit and just give them another versatile player that can guard multiple positions. I'm not sure he's like completely moves the needle there, but certainly a nice piece without giving up too
I feel
much.
like I feel like Hart is that guy that can be the glue guy anywhere he goes.
Yeah,
Just the
yeah.
style of play, he can be
Mhm.
added to any rotation and just fill in and do what he needs to do
Right.
to produce, right? That's the type of guy Josh Hart is, and I think that's why there's that video of Jalen Brunson. As soon as he saw that he got that Hart got traded to the
Yeah,
Knicks, dude was so pumped. He was
that
like
was a
really,
special.
because
That
they
was
used
a
to
cool
be teammates.
moment.
Yeah, yeah, that was a dope ass moment. I think I mean, there's a few underrated moves in my opinion. I think the Clippers, I think they made huge changes there. I think the addition of Bones Highland is going to really improve their offense off the bench. I
Yep.
was talking earlier on the triple double, like I feel like he's going to be that Lou Williams type guy again for the Clippers, right? Something that they've been missing for a while there off of the bench. I think they tried to bring John Wall to be that guy, and that just didn't work.
Right.
That just didn't work. The other thing too, Thomas Bryant. I think that the loss of Bones Highland was huge. Addition of Thomas Bryant, I don't think it completely replaces what comes off of the bench,
Hmm.
but it's much needed. Someone to replace Joker when he goes to the bench, right? This is gonna give the Nuggets some type of flexibility to rest Joker the rest of the season, right? Give him some extra minutes on the
Yes.
bench for a little bit. So that's gonna help as far as, like, freshness and health for the playoffs. Um, I mean, obviously the big trades, everyone talked about it already. It's like things that you already know, right? The Durant's, the other movements and all that stuff. It's just, I don't know, some of the underrated moves that teams were doing to grab players who help them win,
Hmm.
like, just like subtly,
Yeah.
like even GP coming back to the Warriors.
Oh
How
yeah.
big was that? I mean, he was such a big part of that team last season. I mean, they knew they messed up. They knew they messed up, but
Jay
that
Crowder
five,
to the
the
Bucks. I think
Jay
that's
Crowder to the Bucks,
mhm.
that was missing too. They lost
Mhm.
PJ Tucker,
That's
and
right.
that grit and defense was like missing for them.
Mhm.
Obviously their defensive rating is still good for the season, but it's something that I don't know, man. Like, you can't replace that type of grit, and
Right.
this is the personality that PJ Tucker left with as
Yep.
well. Jay Crowder got that same
Oh
personality.
yeah, sure
He's
does.
physical. He's able to play defense against the best defenders. That puts pressure off Giannis
Oh yeah.
to defend those tough offensive players too. And yeah, I think that was
Between
an underrated
Portis and
trade.
Crowder, man, they got two enforcers there that can
Yeah,
help
yeah, yeah.
back
That's
up
just crazy. Yeah,
Giannis.
that was a good look too. Some surprise things that for me was the Celtics, not Celtics, the Cavs. They sat, they
Mhm.
chilled, and so it seems like they feel like they're they're good enough to go the rest of the way here with what they got. I wish they did make some moves there. As much as like they got length in the front court, they don't really have a lot of length in the back court, which is something that a lot of the teams in the West have now. Um, Another one, who would say? I would say. I mean, yeah. I mean, there's a lot of moves and a lot to talk about, but yeah.
Miami stayed pat too. I don't think they really made many moves there either. So that
Not
was
really. They just they gave up Deadman for, I think it was more cap space type stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, not a lot of moves there either. Man, I can't wait for the second half of the season. It is gonna be crazy.
Yeah, how fun was that trade deadline? Yeah,
Yeah, I couldn't even cap a single game. Every time I tried to look at stuff, a new trade came, something new angle came.
Oh yeah, I was at my day job. I was working in a meeting from 1 to 2, and then like when I got out, I swear like there were like 15 trades that happened in that 1 hour
exactly.
time frame.
Yeah, man. With that said, bro, let's get into
right.
the slate here. I know you want to talk about the Hornets and the Celtics. You did touch on it a little bit earlier about the trade with for Plumlee leaving. Celtics, they kind of stayed put a little bit there. What are your thoughts here? They picked up they picked up that was it Muscala? I feel like they picked up
from
under.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
my thoughts here was like, the total steamed quite a bit from open. So open around 230, steamed down to as low as 225, kind of settled back up at 226 with the news that Tatum is likely to play. So I agree with that steam to make that total lower. The Hornets lost some key pieces. Mason, like I said, Mason Plumlee got traded, and that opens up the starting position for Mark Williams, who's elite shot blocker, super long wingspan, great rebounder, but still a little bit raw on the offensive end. Not the most polished scorer, besides finishing at the rim. And Hornets offense has already been struggling, 28th in the NBA for the season, and losing Jaden McDaniels as well, another scorer and 3-point shooter. I just don't think they'll have much success against the stout Celtics defense. And on the Celtics side, they're going to be without Jaylen Brown, Marcus Smart again. And Al Horford's questionable too. But Robert Williams was announced in earlier, and the on-off numbers show that the Celtics are their defensive rating improves by 4.9 points per 100 possessions when he's on the court. Yeah. So also add in the potential blowout game script, and I think this should keep the game under. I have this more at 222, 223, and I like the under here for the Hornets and the Celtics.
Yeah, with Tatum upgraded to probable, would you sort of pivot towards the Hornets team total under, or do you trust that the Celtics also struggle in this spot, or is just the pace of play the factor here on the under as well?
I don't think the Hornets team total under is a bad look either, but yeah, the Celtics have not been as solid offensively as they have been for the whole season.
Gotcha.
They're only, I say only, but they're 10th in offensive rating in the last 5 games compared to 3rd overall. They're missing Jaylen Brown, Marcus Smart, their starting point guard. So I think that the Celtics, and obviously with Mark Williams in, I think that improves the team defense for the Hornets a bit. So I was looking at it from a game total. I think it still goes under the 226 that it's currently at. But yeah, I certainly can't argue with a Hornets team total either.
Yeah, I think when you broke it down a little bit, that was probably the way that we could go here.
I haven't looked at props yet, but I briefly saw the comment that just popped up. I think maybe some Mark Williams rebound props, maybe an angle that we can tackle some value that we're getting, with him in the starting position. So I may try to look at some Mark Williams rebound props after the show.
Yeah, that's a good point there. Yeah, I'm just I like that look towards the under. I was just really trusted because this happened to me. What was it, yesterday? I took the Nuggets and the Nuggets and Magic over. Right. So, obviously you're looking at under, but I took the Magic and the Nuggets over. Mm-hmm. I really liked the Magic yesterday. I also liked the team total over. I ended up only playing the over. The Nuggets didn't do their part. You know what I mean? To get it to go over. But that's why I was thinking on this side too. Like if we like the under, what happens if only the Hornets do their part in
Yeah.
not the Celtics? You know what I mean? That's the only thing that I struggle with. But I do
Right.
like to look towards the under there. Also the Hornets, like you said, they're gonna be shorthanded. Even the guys that they picked up, they're not gonna be able to play today. Only thing on the Celtics side, I believe, is just Tatum really being able to show up. All the other guys that are questionable seems like they're more doubtful than anything.
Right.
So yeah, I definitely agree with you there towards the under. Let's move on to what about the Suns game here? Let's move on to the Suns here. I know you have a look towards the early part of this game here. I did have some angles as well on this Suns Pacers game to the under though.
Okay.
Maybe we can dive into this and see where we can get to as far as a play here. Go ahead and talk about your early play.
Just my thoughts overall. I anticipate that Devin Booker is going to be in playing. He missed yesterday's game against the Hawks, and I think it was more just for the injury management there. And there's been no news that have said otherwise, so I'm expecting him to play tonight. I think what we've tended to see, and we've touched on this in a previous show, was just the market in general overrating or overvaluing, the road back-to-back travel. So I've run some systems and some queries to look at that, and that teams on the second half of a back-to-back on the road, when they lost the first game, have done really well against the spread. So that's Phoenix in the spot after losing to Atlanta last night on the road, and then now traveling to Indiana. So with all in all, with all that factored in, I make this a pick 'em. So I think there's some value on the Suns. But what I was really breaking it down was the first quarter. So the first quarter, let me pull up the stats real fast. I mean, the Pacers are the worst first quarter team against the spread in the NBA. They are 23-13. I'm sorry. Hold on. That's the first half. 17-38 against the spread in the first quarter. On the flip side, the Phoenix are one of the better teams in the first quarter, 31-26 against the spread. Just breaking it down at the home away splits, the Pacers are 8-21 in the first quarter against the spread at home. So I think there's an advantage there for the Suns to come out early on and take advantage of the Pacers who struggle in that spot. And I think with the back-to-back, there may be a tendency for the Suns to have that fatigue kick in later on in the game, especially when they're shorthanded. None of the new trade acquisitions are going to be playing just yet. So I'm taking them early. I'm looking at them early in the game. Phoenix first quarter, I think I saw it at plus or at a pick 'em earlier. So I like that spot quite a bit.
Yeah, I mean, like you mentioned, right? The Pacers really struggle in that first quarter in general. It did flip last night when I was looking at this game. They were the dogs actually, and now they flipped over to the favorites here. I think for the most part, it's just probably because a lot of the players on the Sun side are probably not going to play. The one thing though is the Booker being questionable at this moment, not knowing whether or not he's going to play. Do we have any updated news? I mean, shout to the chat if you guys see anything, let us know. But from the last I saw, he's definitely just pure questionable, not even upgraded to probable or anything like that. He did rest yesterday, so I would think he would play today, in my opinion.
That's what I was thinking as well. But of course, that's just speculating, and I'm not 100% sure. They haven't come out with any news.
Yeah, so the Pacers here to back that first quarter, they're minus 4.3 at home in general against the Pacers. If we look at another thing too on the Pacers side that sort of points to the under is the first leg of back-to-back games here. They're 8-3 to the under in this spot here, and look at that first quarter average. Not whether or not they're at home or on the road, they're struggling in that first quarter there.
Gotcha.
The other piece is on the Sun side that back the under here. They're on the road off a road on the road off a road loss. It doesn't seem like a lot, right? It's 6-6, but if you look at their average scoring here, it's 110 and about 111 and then 109 for them. For the most part, even these a lot of these totals are low. which is why some of these overs are coming into play here.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I just feel like it would be an under type game here. Obviously, a lot of missing pieces on both sides of the ball. I mean, on Sun side, Pacers too, man. You would expect after Hallie came back that a lot of the offensive efficiency would come back too. But it's been a few games now, and they're still struggling on the offensive side of the ball. If we look at the last 5 games, 107.7, that's 27th in the league. I think he's been back for like 3 to 4 games now since he came back from the injury. So yeah, being able to, that expectancy of him really improving that offense as soon as he came back hasn't really blossomed to in my opinion. So I see both teams struggling offensively here. Suns on the defensive side of the ball, they still continue to play well, even whether or not they're shorthanded. 8th in defensive rating in the last 5 games. So yeah, man, only way that I could look is toward the under. I can't talk you off of that Suns first quarter either, just because.
Yeah, I think you make a good point. Yeah, the Suns defense is good, and then with Chris Paul, he's going to try to prevent the Pacers from playing their style of basketball, right? Which is getting into transition, fast breaks, and the Suns like to play slow, and I think it'll be to their advantage if they keep it that way. So I expect them to kind of try to force the Pacers into a more half court style of play, which could work obviously to your look on the under.
Pacers at home. What is SQ, Eris? Well, what is your question there? Can you get a SQ on the total? Not really sure what the SQ means. But they average 117.1 at home, allow 115.4. Maybe we look at not conference. It's like they're down in that spot in the first quarter there.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of high totals here. A lot of high totals. Yeah, I'm not really sure what your question is, Eris, but that would be the numbers for the Pacers at home. All right, let's move on to another one here. Kings. I know a lot of people. One second. I know the Kings here. There was some movement in this game recently, just because Luka was called that he was going to play, and then all of a sudden now he's not going to play. So there was movement there. Austin, we took advantage of the slower books here. We got the +1.
Mm-hmm.
Do we just kind of look the other way now and just like see if we can middle it, or do we take? I mean, or do we just stick with our plan here? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I tend to lean towards my original because I liked Sacramento to begin with. I really like fading the Mavericks off a win. They got that great win against the Clippers. Kyrie played well in his first game, but the Mavericks are 7-20 against the spread off a win. And I specifically like the Kings first half angles. They're 16-10 in the first half against the spread at home. The Mavericks are 9-17 against the spread in the first half on the road. So I thought there was an advantage there for the Kings to have some value against a Mavericks team that will be without Luka, still trying to integrate Kyrie into the lineup. I think they got a short-term boost of energy with Kyrie first joining the team, but I still tend to favor the Kings, especially in the first half here. I really liked it originally when Luka was going to be announced in and he was probable to play. I just thought there would be some chemistry issues to begin with the Mavericks trying to integrate both Irving and Doncic together and trying to see like kind of who's the alpha dog here. And I thought they would get off to a slow start. So I was kind of using that angle to favor the first half, but with Luka out, still like the Kings in the first half. I think that's the angle I'm going to back. But yeah, if it gets, as far as the +1, if it keeps, that was a pretty dramatic jump all the way to what, -4 now in favor of the Kings. Yeah, that I think that's a good opportunity to try and middle it, hedge out of your risk and open yourself up for a middle opportunity there. But I'm still sticking for the full game at least. I still like the first half with the Kings, and I'm going to stick with that as one of my plays.
I like that first half. There, you look at the map. Obviously, their roster has changed a little bit, but if you look at that first half, they're losing by a pretty large margin there. If you look at that last game here against the Clippers that they ended up winning, They scored 41 points in that first quarter, and look at the rest of the game here, 19-21. They did score 29 in the fourth to seal that victory, but for the most part, this might seem like an outlier here for them starting that game. So I would think that they struggle to open this one up. I think that's a good look on your side here. If we look at the Kings as home favorites, even though they struggle to cover the spread on the full game perspective, they are typically up at half. Their average margin there +3, and we're looking at a line here at -2. So you probably only have to win by 1 point, right, to get that first half.
Well, now the line's moved quite a bit. It's at -2.5 Sacramento. So yeah, tough to give that out as an official release at the moment. May have to go back and rework some of those numbers and think about it a little bit more. But certainly, yeah, what we got it at earlier. Happy with.
Crazy thing about the Kings, they had a whole bunch of unders in a row. Now they hit 3 overs, so that total is kind of inconsistent. But I did see how they do in the first leg of back-to-back games. Is they actually been going a lot under.
Yep. I noticed that too, and I think really it was just more like perception and market perception was there. Those totals were really high for a stretch of those games.
Hella high,
240s, high 230s. But yeah, I think market sort of seen their performance over the last couple of weeks and they've adjusted it accordingly. So
I think the total also tells us that this might go under, or the Mavs will struggle offensively here too.
Okay, yeah. So what is it at 233.5 right now?
Let's look at.
Oh no, actually,
sorry, it was at 235, 236. Okay, then it came back down after the Luka news, so it's down to 234. I wish I got the number at the under there. Lines also moved to 3.5 too. But I could probably only look towards the under in this spot as well. All right, let's move. Well, YBB put something here. Let me try to put that on there. Maybe it's on this game. Am I really got to type this out? YBB, you need to send it to me. Between the threes.
You can't copy and paste, Ronald?
Not on the comment.
No.
The hell? All right. It says take the Kings. That's all I need to see. So line between the threes. Well, it's not between the threes anymore.
That's true.
I can't copy and paste from. I can't. Not on my side.
But just a letdown spot for the Mavericks. They won 2 road games outright as underdogs, and I think some of my systems tell me that's been historically a good fade too.
All right, so I took out the between the threes and I just put the dog because they're not a 3-point dog anymore. It's at 4. So if you look at this, just changing that to the dog, it's still pretty good. 422 straight up, 816 and 2 ATS. Also to the under. Man, let's go. Kings, it's actually active on the. I like this a lot because I like the Grizzlies too earlier. I didn't really have a play on the Blazers though.
Well, Blazers have
YBB for sharing this one because that helps my angles on a couple other games.
Well, the Blazers, I didn't play this one, at least not yet, but I did have a system for double same season revenge, favoring the Blazers. They lost already twice to the Thunder earlier this season. So, one of the systems have backing the Blazers, but it's hard to back them right now with so many injuries and new players and trades. So I kind of hit the pause button on that one, but systems and tell me to take the Blazers there.
I like it. We already took the Kings on a slow line, so I'm probably just gonna stick with that. But this makes me want to look again to the under here, more on the Mavs Kings side.
I mean, yeah, didn't you have something on like really high totals? Just I think you were saying the other day, like totals of 240 or more
totals of 240 or more have been going under at a high rate. I think the last one did go over, so that streak went away. But let's look at that real quick.
Well, it's not 240, but it's pretty close. It's at 239.5 right now. But yeah, pretty high. A little. I think it's a little too high. I think both of them just came off of close games.
It did go under. It ended up going under.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, look at this huge under streak right there. Let's just put a date on it so it's easier to see. So since January 18th, 17-2 to the under when there's a total of 240 or greater. Like you mentioned though, it did go under already a little bit, so we lost a little bit of value there. But for the most part, man, I could only look towards the under this game too. A lot of roster implications just because of all the players going off, right?
Yeah. And I think one angle I had is they both came off of like really close games, and just they're fatigued. They came off an emotional game like Portland with the 3-point slim margin win over the Warriors, and the Thunder off the game against the Lakers that ended up closer than it was most of the game. So yeah, just like kind of taking that into consideration. May not be as sharp offensively this following game.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So I don't know. Yeah, maybe I might take a look at the under. I'm not sure yet. I haven't thought about it too much, but definitely had systems for Portland and the under there.
All right. So for that game, the last game that we just talked about, the Mavs and the Kings, obviously we were leaning towards the Kings side. Also now to the under. I think there's some support there for the under as well. Let's move on to another game. We just talked about the Suns. What about the Bucks Clippers? I think a lot of people are going to want to talk about this game here. The Bucks and the Clippers. I do have a big angle on the Bucks side here. A lot of for this game here, I just feel like it's a contrarian look because a lot of the trends will probably back the Clippers from a spread standpoint. But one league-wide trend that I have here, where is it now? To back the Bucks, and I like league wide more so than the team trends when it goes, as far as priority goes. So this one backs the Bucks.
Oh, hey, hold on! Breaking news. It says Giannis probable Friday.
Oh, so he's in.
Probable. So
that's good. I like it better than questionable. Well, he got downgraded because now he's actually on the list.
Yeah.
Right,
sorry to interrupt. Just
that's not good. That's good to know. So season equals 2020. Sorry, 19, I think. And dang it.
Well, Chris Middleton's out.
Oh, okay. As long as Giannis plays, I think I'll be good to go. Yeah. So, but at least the line is gonna move in the direction of the Clippers a little bit more. So if we look at this here, this is just saying in the last 10 games, they've had 8 road games in a row. Or not in a row, sorry. 8 out of the last 10 games, they have 8 road games. If you look at it, this 38.3% fade spot, 75, 121, and 1 against the spread. That's saying to fade the Clippers here. But if you put the situation where they're at home, right, then it moved to 34.9%. So more of a fade on the Clippers side, 44, 82, and 1 against the spread. Now we see that they're going back to back at home. The second home game in a row. Again, it even moves a little bit further. 6-16 straight up, 5-17 ATS to fade the Clippers here and go towards the Bucks side. To me, it does make sense to me. I do like the fact that Middleton is out, to be honest. I think that's just going to give us more points to grab the Bucks. I think this is a spot that the Bucks take advantage of. I think the line was kind of funky to begin with, just probably because, like you said earlier before the show, I think you thought that someone was going to sit on the Bucks side. I was like, I don't know who's going to sit. Now Middleton is out, and then the line's probably going to shift just like maybe a point at most, probably, especially if Giannis does play. And then
Yeah, I'm not sure. We'll see how it goes, but I think it probably had built in a probability that Giannis didn't play, and then
mhm,
a probability that Middleton didn't play, and all that. But now that one of them's playing, one of them not, probably
mhm.
could have some offsetting impacts on the lines. I mean, I think it's moved towards the Bucks just a little bit. It was at 2.5 earlier. Now I'm seeing 2s and 1.5s out there. So I mean, yeah, I mean, I think Giannis, like you mentioned earlier, is the big key there. Not so much Middleton, as he hasn't played all that much this season. Regardless,
Yeah.
more of the impact there, and I think that probably may. I don't think if you'd get a better price on the Bucks at this point. I mean, now that he's probable, I mean, I don't think you'd.
There's probably going to be that initial move to the Kemp just brought it up too. I just brought it up. There's probably going to be an initial move towards the Clippers, but I'm going to expect like there's going to be some buyback, to be honest, because like you said, I think the line was already there to say that someone was going to sit. So it's probably going to shift a little bit initially, and then some guys are going to buy back. But this is the Bucks rest on no rest, back to back, 5-1 straight up, 5-1 against the spread. What up, Ski? Thanks for joining.
What up? What up?
We're finishing up this Bucks Clippers game. I think you were on the Clippers side. You're on the opposite side on this one, if I remember correctly.
Well, I haven't bet it yet, but
okay.
I have something that you can pull that says to back the Clippers today.
Yeah, go ahead.
Road dog off 5 straight wins, and they have a better win percentage than their opponent, and since 2014. And I kind of like the under more though. More I'm thinking about it, just because they don't have Kawhi, and both of the way these teams trend as far as home road splits, they're combined 39 and 13 to the under. So hearing Middleton is out, I'm opening up my accounts and seeing where that number is going.
Well, you said road dog against a
road dog on a 5-game win streak, and they have a better win percentage than their opponent.
Yeah, no, those home away splits
2014
definitely favor the under like crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why when I shared the trend in the chat on the back-to-back no rest in LA, I wanted to share that with you, but after looking at the splits, I'm like, no, I can't go against this.
Did you see the one that I shared earlier, Ski, in the chat? The one that faded the Clippers?
No.
You didn't? I'll show it again.
I like that angle though, Ronald. That makes a lot of sense. The whole being on the road for a long time. It's simple. It's it makes sense, and I think there's a lot to that, man. I think
that road trip too. They were coming from the east, and I talked about this on the show before that the coaches, they mentioned when they go from east to west back home, it's the second game back where they hit the jet lag when they travel. And this is the second game back at home. So that's why I looked at it from home and then previous game home. So this one, Ski says the last 10 games, they were on the road for 8 games. And then this is the second game back home. Fade spot from 2019, 5-17 ATS says to back the Bucks here. And that's why I'm going with them. But we just talked about Middleton is now out. So we're probably going to get more points for the Bucks here too. That's going to be the way that I go in that one.
That's good enough to keep me off of the side. I'll just play under 227.
The under does look spot on. I think someone else just mentioned it too. Oh yeah, Euphoria mentioned the under there. What other we talked about? Ski. We talked about Hornets, Celtics. We talked about the Mavs, Kings. We talked about Suns. We talked about Suns, Pacers.
Yep.
Austin. Yeah, Suns, Pacers, and then just this game here. Do you have anything to add to those, or is there a game that you want to break down here?
Well, if you guys already talked about them, I'll just roll with a different game.
Yeah.
Let's go to the Knicks game. Since we'll do it the less cap style since we're already on here.
Yeah, let's do it.
Just talk it out.
I know. I think Austin is probably on you with you on this one too. Go ahead and break it down, Ski.
Well, I have I like the side and I like the total, but we'll start with the total. So you can put, and Austin definitely knows this one. That if you know under.
Yep.
You have that one already. It's the date. date and previous date. I don't know how to say it, but it's
so basically it's like their last head-to-head matchup was within the last week, and if it's a rematch from a game they played in within the last week, and the total is less than the previous matchup's total, it's really strong to the under. I could pull it up right now.
Can you is it
send it to you?
Hold on, is it this one?
Yeah.
There we go.
That's pretty similar. But yeah, just a variation of this, it doesn't even like I've noticed you don't even have to put that previous matchup went under, as long as the total is less than the previous game total, it's pretty strong to the under. So
yeah, that really is strong since 2013.
Yeah.
So I just want to put some things together because it's another little system that I have. When I add it together with this one, it does a little bit even better. Yeah. So I just add the previous under back and then add that it's a division game and that they're on an under streak.
Who is the home team or the
home team is on an under streak.
One game under?
It's just let me see. It was
just one game under. If they're the last game
over under streak less than or equal to 0. That's how it's typed out.
Oh, okay.
So you should get 39 and 12. My screen is a little bit glitchy to the under.
Oh yeah, right there. Yeah, 39 and 12.
Damn.
So, and then if you move it to 2014 01 24, like the date, rather than season, you should come up with 36 and 8 to the under. So I was looking at that, and I'm just putting two systems together. That's why I'm doing it like this, and just seeing how they do.
No, that makes sense.
Combined situation. And if you also look, because so far this season, when the road team is on the front end of a back-to-back, they're about 57.6% to the under. So I think I added that, and you have 5 games since 2019. The last 5, they all went under. Average total was 221.8, went under by about 12 points per game. So all the things I look at individually, when I put them together, seems like I should be playing the under in this game. And if you just look at the recent performance for both of these teams, you have a Knicks team playing the slowest pace in the league the last 5 games. Sixers also bottom 10 in pace in that same span. Both teams top 10 defending the perimeter. So I just see everything matching up for less points.
Yeah, that's a good point. Do we know who's going to be playing? I mean, as far as like players that got traded, is Hart going to be in today? He's not, right?
He was game time. Let me see.
I saw him in a lineup earlier, but I don't think I've gotten actual confirmation that he's playing tonight. But I don't see why not. But yeah, just last game they played, it was 108-97, total of 205 points.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
they've already played each other 3 times this season, so there's a good familiarity with one another. So all that favors the under here. So I'm with you, Ski. I'm with
Love
you.
it.
All right, good stuff on the under. Do you have a look on the side? Is it the Sixers?
No, it's not the Sixers, but you can keep that same first portion of the thing where it says that previous date, less than 7, and then just add that it's a road dog with the rest advantage that won the previous matchup as a dog.
We take the total out?
Yeah, take everything else out. And this one you can take the date out too.
Okay.
I don't think you need the playoffs either, but it doesn't hurt to have it.
Okay. Is that it?
Yep, you got it.
ADP, DW. Okay. 12 and 21 and 12.
Yeah, and pretty much the Knicks just been playing really good basketball lately. I mean, if you look at this point spread number, they would have covered it 7 of their last 8 games. They've been the better rebounding team. They've been the better offensive team. So I think they can keep it close. And also, Philly just came off a game where I'm sure they cared about that Celtics game a lot more than they care about this game tonight. And it would be a better sandwich spot if, Nets didn't make all those trades and all that stuff. But Ben Simmons is still over there on the Nets. I think they care more about that game tomorrow. So I think it's a sandwich spot for Philly. And I think the Knicks can take advantage again tonight.
Yeah, the first leg of back-to-backs is tough for the Sixers, I think. Pistons smash, but man, I want to look at that game. We'll look at that game right after this, Matt Stoney, because I want to get on that game. Yeah, I mean, I was actually leaning towards the Sixers side, and this is actually why. So I looked at the Sixers here at home against teams with a winning record. It seems like they play up to their opponents at this point. 11-0 straight up, 9-2 against the spread. But I don't know. With a lot of the trade implications going on as well, it's just really funky. They did lose, failed to cover 2 of the last 3, so maybe it's a trend that's going in the opposite direction. I did not play this one. I wasn't 100% comfortable on it. Did you have a look on this one, Austin, from the side perspective?
No, not at all. None of my systems were active on it. I like both teams. I think both teams have been playing pretty well. So I didn't really have a spot. I was just looking at that under there.
Yeah, let me look at. Not a lot to see as far as that. Okay, well, yeah, I mean, I couldn't talk you off that just because I don't have any strong edges on the other than that trend there. Nothing really strong on the Sixers side, or nothing really strong to fade the Knicks either. But I do like that under now a lot more after you broke that down. Let's go on to this Pistons one. I do want to get on the Pistons in some way because they're like Matt Stoney said, like, who is available on that Spurs side? There's literally a G League team right now playing on the Spurs side. I think I saw that Devontae Graham is actually going to play today. He's probably, I mean, but I don't know, man. There's really nobody there, to be honest. Even
Trey
Pirtle's
Jones is out.
gone.
Keldon Johnson is out.
Yeah, everybody's out. So I can't see anything else but the Pistons here. One thing that I saw on the Pistons side, they do struggle at home, but if you look at it more specifically, at home versus teams with a losing record, they actually become a winning team. 7-4 straight up, 7-3-1 ATS, 7-4 to the over. One way that I was trying to look at it was really to the Pistons team total over, because we know the Spurs defense just struggle a lot. So I was looking towards the Pistons team total over, or just the Spurs. I mean, the Pistons against the spread. Did you guys have any angle on this one at all?
It's a bum fight, man. I didn't want to. 11 games. I didn't spend too much time on this one. I just thought it was simple. Spurs haven't covered a game in like 3 weeks or a month. Why would I put my money on them?
That's what I'm saying. Look at that shit. Like, that's crazy. That's just crazy.
I was eyeing the over or like an early over. Both teams are heavy to the over in the first quarter and first half, and both have piss poor defenses. So I was kind of looking at an early over. But with all those injuries for the Spurs, I didn't have confidence in any of their players, helping contribute to that over. So yeah, maybe like a Pistons team total might make sense there.
Here's the other thing, dude. Like, because I was looking at where the Pistons' offensive rating was the last 5 games. They're dead last. But if you look at who they played the last 3 games, they played like top 10 defenses the last 3 games. So it's the Cavs, right, Celtics, and the Suns. I mean, obviously their offense is going to struggle against those teams. So I think this is a spot here where their scoring is probably going to be undervalued, and I do want to take the Pistons in some way, and I think it's probably going to be that team total. That's probably the only way that I could go here. Spurs.
Can't talk you off. Spurs been giving up like 125 points, 126 points per game in the last 2 weeks, so can't talk you off, bro.
Yeah. I'm going to look at it a little bit more. I haven't placed it, but man, I want to get on that game because I want to fade the Spurs in some way.
I have a question on the game, and also I sent you a thing where we can start with it.
Yeah. Is it in the Twitter chat? Or
yeah, Twitter chat. Really, it's 2 games that is active on, and I have really the same question about both, but I want to talk more about like the Houston and Miami game. We got Austin here anyway. Let's talk a little bit of Houston Rockets.
Let's move on to that game then real quick. Let's go Rockets. Wait, actually, didn't you say something about this game earlier? I feel like
yeah, I was trying to find a way to fade the Rockets, fade my beloved Rockets. But yeah, I don't know, just a young team going into Miami, especially of all places, just on the road. I've seen, I don't have any stats to back it up, but just seeing young teams in that situation struggle a bit, especially early. The Heat, they've been pretty good with the assist to turnover ratio last several games. So that's, one angle I like to bet an over. And the Rockets have the worst defense in the league, and the turnover discrepancy. The Heat forces the highest turnover percentage of their opponents. The Rockets have the highest turnover percentage, commit the highest turnover percentage. So just one of those aspects where I saw there was a lot of advantages for the Heat, but I wasn't willing to lay the 12-point spread. I was more looking maybe at like a Heat team total over in the first half. They do most of their scoring in the first half. 52% of their points, their total points come in the first half, and they usually slow the pace down in the second. So that's sort of where I was looking and leaning, but I don't have a play yet. I was looking at that first half Miami team total, or maybe like a Miami first quarter spread, but it was at 4.5 earlier, something that I wasn't comfortable with laying in the first quarter either. So maybe like a first half team total, but I don't know. What were y'all thinking?
Well, this one looks like it's pointing towards the Rockets here, Ski.
Okay.
Is that the way that you were looking?
Well, that one is saved as an over trend. But I know it hasn't been doing maybe that great lately. But I just think this total has came down too much. It's came all the way down to 219.5 or 220. I mean, the Rockets have been going over. Their games have been reaching like 250. Like,
that's super low.
They haven't been playing any defense at all. So I just disagree. I think it's come down too much. And to have the system on there to back me up, I think I should take a stab at the over in this game. And I like the Rockets actually instead of the Heat, just because for one, I mean, the Heat haven't been covering. I mean, they win games, they don't cover. And now you're expecting them to win by double digits when they have a game the next day. So let's type this one in, RC, if you can.
Yeah.
Before y'all, which one is this? This one is okay. All right. So OU margin greater than 10. Okay.
So three. So this one says
3 points in the last.
Yeah. So this one says 3 of the last 10 games. Wait, 3 of the last 3 games. Oh, 3 games in a row. They've gone over the total by 10 or more than 10 points. Right. And their opponent also went over. So it's just kind of like that streak there. Both teams going over.
Yeah, I'm with you on the over there. I do like that over as well.
All right, Ski, what was it?
Love hearing that because I just need a little bit a backup on that one. Next rest equals 0 and a double-digit favorite. So laying big points, and you got to play again the next day. And I think it's season greater than or equal to 2019.
Some support there for the over.
Yes, for the over, but also, I mean, it's support for the over as well. And also, I mean, it says to fade the Heat. Like, I just don't think you should be laying points in this situation with a team who already doesn't cover, and they got to play again tomorrow. So that's why I like both of those plays.
Here's one thing, Ski, to fade the Rockets here. I mean, just because I want to share what some of the details that I looked at. But if you look at the Rockets this season, and they allowed 130 points or more in their previous game. They just continue to struggle in that spot. 0-6 straight up, 1-5 ATS. Is just like their defense is just so bad right now that I mean, even the Heat who continue to struggle covering games. I don't know, man. It just is really tough. 4-1 to the over though, so it does support the over there. I don't know. I mean, some of these teams obviously they're higher pace.
Yeah, that's why I was looking towards a team total angle there, just because I wasn't trusting the Heat to cover such a large spread. So that's kind of why I was.
Do you think the Rockets? Well, what is the Rockets' pace? Have they been playing at a faster
12th
pace?
Last 5 games, 12th.
12. Okay, there you go.
Yeah, I'll be on there. I'll add both of those. I like the Rockets and I like the over.
All right.
Dude, that system that had the over is also active on OKC and Portland, and that's another total that's dropping right now. Did you guys talk about that one?
OKC and Portland. No, we didn't. I don't think we did talk.
Yeah, we did.
Oh, we did.
Talked a bit.
Okay, like the over
in Portland. No, you know what? We were on the Mavs Kings, and then we talked about a trend that had the OKC game in it. So I don't think we actually broke it down, right?
Gotcha.
Man,
We didn't really break it down too much, but I did share just a trend favoring the Trailblazers, who are off a double same season revenge spot against the Thunder, and I was favoring the under a bit.
Okay.
Ronald and I were talking about just high totals in general. I mean, it was above 240 at one point, and Ronald shared a trend that was totals above 240. We're really strong to the under lately. And then my angle on the under was I had a system that was like two teams coming off like really close games, just playing against one another, just a little fatigue, letdown spot. So more conducive to the under there. So
okay.
No strong.
This one was tough though, because a lot of the team trends really do point towards the over for the most part.
Right.
But this one here, just the total being at 240 earlier, made me look towards the under, but now it's under 240. Maybe that threshold is gone. It could be a situation where they're going to be really close to this, because we know the Blazers, they definitely score a lot more points at home than they do on the road. I think they average like 10 more points at home than they do on the road. Let's see real quick.
I know both teams the last 2 weeks, their games are averaging more than 240.
Yeah, I could see it. I could see that. So really, they're giving up a lot. Thunder team, opposing team total over has gone over in 7 straight.
Yeah, that's
Sheesh.
Yeah, without Nurkic in there, I mean,
they're going to be pretty short-handed today too, if I'm not mistaken. So Blazers at home, they score 119.6 per game. On the road, they only average 110. So their offense really does a lot better at home too. So I mean, I know some of the league-wide trends probably point to the under, but it seems like this is an overplay.
Outlier, huh?
Yeah, I mean, one of those outliers.
I might have to roll with this one too. I like it.
The over?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I can't talk you out. Look at this on the Blazers side. If we look at Blazers, and they're the home fave. Right, 13-6 to the over, but if you go a little bit deeper, and we say it's a conference game, 11-1 to the over.
Yeah, I'm sold.
11-1 to the over, definitely averaging over 240, and there's no OTs in there, so we're not getting any inflated numbers on these averages. You know what I mean? So, yeah, man, I could only look towards the over as much as I see some league-wide trends pointing to the under.
The algebra.
Yeah.
The algebra. Yeah. Oh yeah. It's like, man, this guy's in my he's in my notes right now. Kemp. Yeah. So I can only look towards the over there. There's even some other stuff on the Thunder side that point to the over. Road dogs versus teams with a losing record.
I'm sold, man. I think I got my plays.
This actually points to look at the Thunder ATS on this spot too. 8-1 ATS, 7-2 to the over.
They've just been a beast against the spread in general, man.
In general, yeah, definitely one of the top ones. Yeah.
My bad. I don't want to skip, but I want to ask you guys another question.
Yeah, go ahead.
D'Lo gone from Minnesota. They didn't like that guy. You think they're gonna play better now? You think they're a play on?
Who's gonna start in his place?
Conley, right?
Conley.
I mean, is he gonna be active today? Because you're talking about today's game, right?
Right.
Yeah. Is he gonna be active today?
Revenge game against Grizzlies.
Oh,
that's the problem, though. Because I like the Grizzlies. All right, let me look at this. So we didn't talk about this yet. So let's talk about it.
I didn't have an opinion, just with new players on both sides, and I didn't have a strong take on this one. So I'll let y'all.
My opinion is the Wolves have been playing better basketball lately, as far as they've been a better offense team, they've been a better rebounding team. Grizzlies have not even been covering the last 3 weeks. So why would we lay 7 points expecting them to win by multiple possessions here? Is it just because they have 2 days rest compared to one? That's not enough for me to get on the Grizzlies. Until they get Steven Adams back into the lineup and start to, show me that consistency, I'm not laying points with them. I'm looking to fade them.
Oh, man. Yeah, I mean, you make a good point there. Obviously, they haven't been covering consistently lately, especially ever since Adams has been gone. Look at their offensive numbers here. as home favorites under the team total in 5 straight. I just feel like there's like a lot of stuff going on the opposite side, on the Wolves side, as far as like the roster movement in fluctuation there. So I just felt like this was a spot that they could finally get it together. So if we look at,
I think they just have a lot. They have a lot of questionables, right? Kyle Anderson's questionable, Conley's questionable, Gobert's questionable. So just a few question marks here.
Yeah,
that could contribute to some uncertainty.
Definitely, man.
When did
Adams got injured against the Cavs, right? Wasn't it against the Cavs? They ended up winning that game, but then they start to lose after that.
I can't remember. It's been a little while now.
Look at all their unders. Fuck. I don't want to, like, you talk about it too, man. Like catching that falling knife. As much as I want to, like, I'll probably just stay away. But the Grizzlies, I mean, they have their revenge, right? Didn't the Wolves win that last game?
The Grizzlies, so. Yeah, Grizzlies are in a revenge spot there. Yep.
Fuck it. Just as easy as that, you could probably talk me off.
I thought you was about to come with a fuck it play.
Don't do that. I can't do that no more. I learned my lesson. Two things I learned this year the most is don't say fuck it and play those games. The other one is don't go against the contrarian play of the day.
Yeah,
those are the two that I'm evil. Not. Because we were on tip off the other day, and we both went against the contrarian play of the day. We both lost.
It's evil, man.
I learned my lesson. Yeah, fuck it. See, now that I said fuck it, I'm not gonna play it. Now they're gonna cover. See, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I'll just stay off that game. Anything else? I feel like we went through a lot of the slate. I didn't think we were gonna go through everything.
I think I settled on my plays from for the day from our show.
Yeah. What is one? Did we talk? I feel like we talked about every single game. We have. We definitely talked. Oh, Jazz and Raptors, the only one. But I didn't have really anything.
I'll pass on that one.
Did you have anything on that, Ski?
No. Don't want anything to do with it.
Yeah.
I say lean over, just because the Jazz look like a team who they already haven't been playing defense, and in the future with the players they have, I don't see them playing any defense. Still a good offensive team. They can shoot the three well, and going up against a team who doesn't defend the three well. So it was just a lean to the over.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense to me. I just don't want to bet anything with the Raptors, because only reason why I don't want to bet anything with the Raptors is just because they were supposed to be a selling team, and they ended up buying. So I don't know where the players are mentally. You know, guys that they thought were going to get traded. I want to see if they're going to be able to stick together and kind of get through this part. That's the toughest part to me during the trade deadline. I'm gonna take this off because we're done. The toughest part to me about the trade deadline, guys, is players who expected to be traded right now. They have mentally they're going to be like, all right, I'm about to be on a new team now. I can't wait to be out of here. Now they're still here. Like, how do you play for this team at a high level? Like you felt like you wanted to leave. You know what I mean? That's one thing that I was thinking about. And like obviously OG was on the trading block. A lot of people talked about Van Vliet and like pretty much almost their whole starting lineup was like rumored to be on the block. So I just don't know where they are mentally, and that's why I stayed away from this game for the most part. Also, Jazz just sold too, so I don't know where they are either mentally. Well, what are you guys? Ski, you weren't here earlier when we were talking about some of the trades. What are some of the underrated moves from the trade deadline, you think?
Underrated moves. I will say I think Josh Hart will be pretty good in New York. I mean, he already has chemistry with Brunson over there, and you know, Thibodeau likes guys who likes to play defense, and he'll definitely give effort on that side. So I think he'll be a nice addition to their team. I'm hoping Cam Reddish can start to finally do better, because you know, if you talk or not talk, but if you listen to the guys talk about him in the league, like everybody says, like he was a bucket, he's so hard to guard and all this stuff, and you just don't see it in the NBA. So I just think he needs to be in the right situation, and then he could shine. So I'm hoping that for him. And I mean, obviously, I love the Lakers moves. I'm not going to talk about the trade deadline and not talk about the Lakers.
The crazy thing is, I was on a triple double earlier, and then my partner Matt mentioned So after the Lakers made the big trades, right? They moved to, it was like plus 400 or way down, and then after the KD move, they went back all the way up. It's just crazy to think about how much has changed within the last 24 hours, just from trade to trade. But yeah, man, Lakers made some moves that I felt like really increased their chances to at least make the playoffs here. I mean, like not even the play-in round. I feel like they can get into that top 6 with this type of roster. It's just a matter of being healthy. I think, man, Vanderbilt is a piece that I feel like was missing for them, as far as like someone to replace AD when he's not on the court, because we always talk about it when AD is on and off the court, the difference in defensive rating, right? Vanderbilt is that guy that could kind of do both. What they had earlier with Thomas Bryant only had offense. The other guy that I keep forgetting his name, the guy with the braids, the other backup center,
Gabriel?
he was mainly just defense, right? So now you get someone that can kind of do both with Vanderbilt. And I think that's a key piece there. Beasley, obviously, he was a great addition, and D'Angelo Russell was in a bad spot. I feel like he's gonna be happy here. I think he was here before, and I feel like he didn't really want to leave before either, but he got traded, right? I don't know.
He'll be all right.
Obviously, it was that situation, but I think he liked where he was to begin with. I don't know. I think Lakers can get there, but
that's a good underrated move, though, Vanderbilt. Yeah, I forgot about that one. That one didn't stand out, but that's why it's underrated, right?
Yeah, no love for Mo Bamba.
Mo Bamba. Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, Mo Bamba can be there too. But I just like how Vanderbilt can fit in anywhere, in my opinion. He has that type of personality. Mo Bamba, obviously, yeah, obviously a big move too for them. But I'm talking about underrated. I think a lot of people liked Mo Bamba.
I saw a tweet from ESPN. It was like, "Welcome another Lakers big man." It had Shaq, Dwight Howard, and then Mo Bamba. I was like, "All right, not wrong
here." Huge move there. What do you think about the Nuggets? They sold Bones Highland. They bought on Thomas Bryant. I feel like they missed it. I think they missed it.
I think they're going to be an over team. Thomas, I mean, they're already probably an over team, but Thomas Bryant as the backup, Jokic, he can't defend pick and roll. Yeah. Thomas Bryant cannot defend anything.
Yeah.
I just feel like they're going to get 8 like all the time on defense. So
the thing is, though, they lost Bones Highland. That's a lot of offense off of that bench that they were missing.
Yeah.
You seen what happened yesterday with no Bones Highland? They struggled, bro. I did not like that at all. But yeah, the Clippers now. What do you think about the Clippers? They made some great offensive moves. They were struggling offensively. Picked up Bones Highland. Picked up some other guys that could put the ball in the bucket. Gordon's back in the Clipper uniform as well. What do you think about them?
They still need a point guard, and they are gonna eventually probably go with Russ. That's who Paul George is. Trying to get them to get his old teammate. And you know how I feel. There's 2 things. One, you're never going to win anything like a championship as long as Russell Westbrook's on your team. He just does not play winning basketball. I've said this before he was a Laker. I've said this plenty of years back, and it still holds true. Second, Clippers are going to clip. It's as simple as that. They're just not a team that you can trust when it gets to the playoffs and all that stuff. It's a team who has guys in and out of the lineup. They don't have that same chemistry, and it's going to hurt once you get to the playoffs. So I don't think they're going to make any noise.
So with John Wall out of the picture, Reggie Jackson now out of the picture as well. Are they going to start Bones? Like who's going to be the starting point guard?
I honestly really think Russell Westbrook will be there soon.
You think so? Hold on, let me send this real quick to Ski. Ski Jay.
Yeah, don't send me nothing.
I'm gonna send it to you. Bum. Did it go through? Oh, there you go. Yeah, I just sent the link to Jay. Anything else, guys? Like, what do you any other stuff that you guys want to talk about here? I
actually got to get going. So,
all right, Austin, thanks for popping in here.
Yep.
You drop your officials before you go.
Okay, I'll go drop my. So I'm gonna go with the under on the Hornets Celtics 226. The under on the Sixers and the Knicks. What's the latest line there? 223.
My guys.
What's up?
What up,
What up,
Jay?
Jay?
Austin, Ski, Ronald, Ski. I never seen the smile on your face, boy, like the other day, boy. Ski was smiling the whole day, boy. I love to see
got
it.
traded or what?
Nah, it wasn't even that. Them getting I mean, that was a huge trade for the Lakers. I must say, they put them back in there. Russell People won't talk about Vanderbilt. He could mean a lot to that team defensively, but Russell, Vanderbilt, Beasley as well. I love it. I can't lie.
Yeah.
I can't lie.
So, Austin, real quick, finish your recap. Sixers, Knicks.
Under, under 223. I'll do the
Suns
Suns first quarter money line there.
Suns first quarter money line. Sixers,
Yeah,
Knicks.
those
So that's 3 plays, right?
Yep.
1, 2, 3. All right, cool. Hey, appreciate it, Austin. Thanks for popping in today.
Yeah.
All right,
Hey,
Austin.
guys. All right, Ski, you gonna get a triple double tonight or what?
I'll do my best.
All right, later, guys.
Later.
What do you mean by that? Triple double.
I don't know what he means, Jay.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, I ain't not talking about nothing.
Hey, Jay, we talked about the whole
he's talking about some girls probably messing around with Ski. He's trying to talk about some girls.
We talked about the whole slate today. What are you on today?
Man, I want to talk about this Mavs game, man. Like I say, it's nothing official for me, but I'm really flabbergasted at everybody loving the Kings today, man. I don't understand it. I think they get blown out. I think the Mavs are being disrespected right now. I think the Kyrie to Mavs, no one really knows how big this could possibly be. I think it's going to be a positive for the team when they get Luka back or not. But even it's probably a little better tonight that Luka's not back in there. But it's a phase spot for the Kings, man. What are they coming off a 7-game road trip? De'Aaron Fox just had a baby as well. This team's got all type of shit. They've been away from home for 2 weeks. This is a horrible spot for the Kings, in my opinion, man.
Yeah, the only thing that we talked about earlier was more that the Mavs started that game off strong with the Clippers. They scored 41 in the first quarter. After that, they didn't really show anything. I think that this for me, I felt like it was more of a letdown spot on the Dallas side off of that first game with Kyrie, kind of coming off of a high, right? And then now you expected Luka to play. Now he's not playing. There's a lot of stuff going on that side as well. I do get the fact that this is a fade spot on the King side as well, as far as that long road trip and then coming back home. So I mean, it makes sense either way, in my opinion.
I don't think the Kings are not the third best team in the West. They're gonna take they're gonna take a slide, in my opinion. And if you look at the Mavs, they're a few games back behind them. These 2 games could literally be huge for the Mavs in climbing up the standings here, in my opinion. I think they treat this game somewhat like a playoff game. It's went up to 4. I don't agree with it. I think the Mavs I think they win the first quarter. I think it's basically going to be the same thing by the Clippers game. They'll come out, have a hot start. Kings will be playing from behind. They don't have enough defense, in my opinion, to win this game. That's just the way I look at it. It's no fanboy shit. It's simply put, the Mavs have been very lackluster. Like I said, they were trash. But guess what? They got an upgrade from Brunson now. Finally, they got Luka some help. I don't think people know the ceiling that the Mavs have now with Kyrie over there.
Mm-hmm. What do you think, Ski? I think you missed this game when we talked about it.
Let me just remind myself here. Let me pull back up my sheet. I just don't think I agree with what he said as far as Sacramento has not been playing defense. They're not really rebounding the ball anymore. I just feel like Sacramento is like they were playing good for a while, but now they're starting to go the opposite way. And I agree that it's the flat spot, first game back after the long road trip. So I wanted to play the Mavs here. But I did think Luka was going to play. I don't like that they're doing that injury manipulation type shit. But
I think it's in our way. I think it's
right there.
I think it's in our way this time. Because look, see, I kind of like I was saying inside info. I think Luka's playing. I got to think about it. I'm like, damn, do we really want to bet on the Mavs in their first game with Luka and Kyrie? Although I still think it's going to work because Kyrie's not going to be ball dominant. He knows how to play shooting guard, right? They went through the same thing up there in Brooklyn when they had Harden and KD. And Kyrie knows how to step back and let Luka run the team. All they need is for someone when Luka is off the floor. And that's why they were so good last year with Brunson. They got Kyrie now. He's even taller than Brunson as well. So he's not that much of a defensive liability. But Kyrie is a championship style type of player. And what Ski's saying, I think the Kings may have peaked too early, guys. That's what teams did. Like a team like the Kings that had to make the playoffs, they don't know that you don't want to play too good early in the season. You look at the Clippers. What did they do? They came out no chemistry, but I think they were doing it on purpose. The Clippers know that they need to peak at the right time. And I think the Kings may have maybe have peaked too early. I think the Mavs win this game. I think they're gonna win both games versus the Kings. But this is the spot. If you're gonna win one of these games, I don't think they have a letdown. I think this team is excited right now with Kyrie, and I think this is a Kings face spot here.
Yeah, I think we were also looking towards the under. A lot of things pointed to the under, especially with how the Kings have been playing both offensively, defensively, and on pace too. And then also, like I said earlier, the reason why I thought the Kings would take it was because of a letdown spot here for the Mavs. So even if both teams kind of struggle offensively, then the under might be the look in that sense. Yeah, I to be honest, I did take the Kings +1 earlier, right before the Luka news. So maybe if it gets to like 4.5 to 5 points, maybe just go the other way, because I think the last time I saw it, wasn't it at 4? I feel like it was just at 4.
It's at 4, man.
It's at 4 right now.
Yeah, it's at 4.
I'm taking Mavs.
To me, that's
taking
5
Mavs
points.
+4. It's just what I'm doing. And money line. No offense to you, Ronald, but I'm taking
No.
money line.
I took it purely.
We talked about this game. We talked about this game last night. You already know how I feel.
Yeah, no, I know. This is the game that I just took it purely because the book was slow. It was at +1 when everyone else is already at -2.5. You know what I mean? So I took that, and if it continues to go in that direction, maybe I don't mind just losing the juice with a chance to just double up. You know what I mean? Like, or just bet half of the unit to get half of it back. Either way,
money.
Whichever side.
At this point, you could take money line.
Yeah.
For the Mavs if you wanted to buy out, or you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's true.
But I always say, man, everybody likes the Kings, Ronald. Everybody I've been talking to like the Kings, so maybe y'all know something I don't, but maybe I know something that the people don't know about the Mavs too, though.
Nah, I got you. Did you see anything else that you liked today?
Man, it's actually a lot to like. I think the Raptors are in a good spot today. First quarter, full game. And I don't understand how we don't not. Now the Sixers haven't been playing well the past couple games, but if Embiid plays, we know quick revenge spot. I mean, the Sixers should get this game done. They were up by double digits versus the Knicks the first game, got outscored by 10 in the fourth quarter of that one, if I'm not mistaken. No, maybe it wasn't their game. It wasn't their game, but they did lose their game in the fourth quarter versus the 76ers. I think the Sixers are the better team. I think they get it done. Yeah, they got outscored 32-18 in that fourth quarter on Sunday. So quick revenge spot for the Sixers. I think they turn it up here.
Got it. All right. Well, I think what were we looking at on that one, Ski? Was it the under, right? It was under in that one? Sixers, Knicks?
Under was more of the consensus, and I like the Knicks.
Gotcha.
Okay. Hey, it's go keep going up, Ski. So hey, wait till the last minute.
I already bet it. It's all right. We'll see what happens.
Let's get on to the.
I got 6.5 though. It's still 6.5.
Okay.
Ski, drop your officials here, or anything you want to drop for the viewers here.
Well, I'll do like this, just because I don't like going on shows and giving the same shit to every show. I already did a show earlier, and I gave out the picks that I made earlier this morning. So I give out the other picks that I added since then, and they'll be. We talked about them here on this show. It's going to be Houston +12, Houston and Miami over 219.5, OKC and Portland. I'm gonna put that one in too. It's 230 under 227. So those are my additions that I made. And we talked about pretty much all of them here.
Yeah. I think I'm probably going to rock with you guys on that Sixers Knicks under. I do like the Suns Pacers under as well. The only thing that I feel like for sure that I'm going to bet right after the show, I actually really do like the Bucks here. That's a spot that I really like. I'm going to fade the Clippers. I also like the Heat overlook that you guys had. I'm probably going to stay away from you made some good points for the Rockets there, but I think I'm going to stay away from the side. Mavs Kings under. I do like that one. Man, I still want to get on the Pistons some way. Like the team total over probably might be the way to go, or just probably the team total over. I also like the Pelicans. Man, there's just so much shit to like, but it's like, what the fuck do you want to get? You know what I mean? Like, what do you want to get to the people here? Like,
fact.
You can't give them all, right? I don't know, man.
It's fast because you give out two plays, and then like you have the right looks on them in all the games, and then you say, all right, I'm gonna go with these two, and then even if they go 1-1, it's still you know what I'm saying. People still
like yesterday, Jay. Like yesterday on that Magic game, I was like, I'm gonna take the over, but I can't talk you off the Magic team total or the Magic. Those fuckers hit, and then it didn't go over the full game. So I was like, fuck, what can you do?
The Magic was easy there, bro. Fuck.
Yeah. But yeah, so all those that I talked about were leans. The Bucks is the one that I'm about to place right now. I feel like that's the way that I'm gonna go. The other ones, I'm gonna do a little bit more research on. But I mean, we broke it down. You saw the screens, you saw the trends, all the angles that we talked about on the show. So, really, I typically end like this is whether or not you fade us or follow us, it's on you guys to make that call. We just want to provide that information for you guys. You know what I mean? And you guys do what you want with it. I mean, this is the free stuff that we do. We're just giving out information. Yeah. Anything else to drop before we cut out? Ski or Jay, you guys don't want to promote anything? You guys got any shows coming up?
Everything I do is on Twitter right there at Ski Profit, man.
Jay?
Yeah, I'm taking a break from social media right now, man. But I'll give you and I don't even know if I'm gonna do the shows tomorrow, man. I'm just taking a break right now, man. But top looks for me today, top 3 games, favorite games would be the Sixers. There, I do think they covered the first quarter and full game. Could be a Sixers trifecta spot. The Raptors, same thing. Could be a like them first quarter and full game. Should be a trifecta spot for the Raptors. Same thing with the Mavs. I like them first quarter and full game. Should be a trifecta spot for the Mavs. Other games that have small leans on Pacers full game. I wouldn't suggest betting that Spurs Pistons game, man. Definitely not. Both teams sitting at 14 wins. Stay off that shit, man. But
there's like nobody on the fucking Spurs right now. There's literally nobody playing on that team.
I just feel like you never know which team wants to lose it more, but it's definitely looked like it's been the Spurs. No, in all honesty, man, it's the tank. Who wants to tank it more? But the Rockets and Heat game, I do lean the over. I think there's gonna be plenty of points in that game, even though the total's coming down. I do lean Wolves, and then I lean Blazers and I lean Clippers, guys. It's just how I'm looking at it.
Good stuff, guys. Good stuff. Shout out to Ski Jay for popping in here. Austin as well. He was in here earlier, dropping his officials, helping us break down the game. Shout out to the chat. You guys brought in some great trends, talked about some games as well that you guys liked. So obviously, I love when you guys share your information because some of the things we miss up here, you guys are able to point out in the chat, and we can look that up too as well. Yeah, like I said, man, this is the way that we end the show. Whether you fade us or follow us, it is on you guys to make that call. Good luck with all your action. Till next time, peace.